Hey guys, welcome back to another discussion video, and my name is Morgan, and over there is Sam,
What's
and
up?
yeah, and today we're going to be talking about episode 21 and 22 of Ruler of the Mass, or no, it's called Ruler, I can't even
Master
think,
of the
Master of
Mask.
the Mass. I always get messed up, I always want to say Ruler of the Mass, but it's called Ruler Master of the Mass, which I think is like a ridiculously long name. But we're going to be talking about episode 21 and 22, recapping it and discussing it also. And so I guess I'll start off with what happened in the ending of episode 20. So in the ending of episode 20, we had this huge conflict that happened with the general and also with Wubu and the prince and prince son. So Wubu, or I mean, sorry, the general wants to send all his men out and basically wipe out Pusawan. Well, Wubu comes and he doesn't want that at all. He doesn't want war. He tries to plead with the crown prince, basically saying like, listen, if you do this, then people are gonna die. People are gonna get hurt. And is that the way you wanna like run your country? And that's where it ends. Do you want to kind of
Right.
take us up into episode 2021?
So in episode 21, we don't start back right where we like left off. We kind of get like a flashbacky time with him and his father when he was still like in the palace grounds and everything. And his father was talking to him about how like being king basically means that he's going to have to make some very, very tough decisions. And he ends up ultimately asking his father, like, how would you make this decision? And he basically goes, like, follow your heart. Essentially, like, whatever your heart tells you to do is the right thing to do. Because
Yeah.
no one can make these decisions. Like, you were going to make the ultimate decisions. That's what it means to be king.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a flashback Yoda moment for him when he has to now make this really, really tough
But
decision.
for me, like when I first saw that scene, like in this episode, I honestly thought I clicked on the wrong show. Cause
Really?
like, yeah, for some reason, like I don't know why, it just felt like it was a start of a new show. For some
Uh,
reason, I don't know if maybe I don't know if I was just like the only person who got that sense, but that's like the feeling I got from that scene in the drama. But I do like how it kind of coincided with what he was going through at that moment.
right. And I like the little flashback part too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it basically is kind of like us being in the head of Prince Sun when he's like about to make this decision. So the scene where now he's like, fight or not fight. So Morgan and I had this whole conversation, and I was wrong. He's not going to fight. But let me put out there before because I watched the first 30 seconds and it said fight, and I was all excited because I thought I was right. And I messaged Morgan asking her if she'd watched episode 21. And then as I continued on through the episode, I found that I was wrong, and I'm like, never mind. But the text
Yes.
still held true because both these episodes were fucking crazy.
They were crazy. And also, I knew he was going to fight because he's such a Hufflepuff. Because there's no way he would let other people get hurt because he wants the throne. If he was a Slytherin, I can see it happening. But he's a Hufflepuff, and no way would that happen. No, nothing against Slytherins. I just think that Slytherins are very driven, and I think that he'd be very much like, yes, let's do it if it's to get rid of, like, the bigger picture. But, um, so he, of course, like what Sam says, he decides to, not basically wipe out Pusawan because of the fact that people would die, and also for the fact that he knows the enemy at the border will not sit still if they see conflict within the palace, which
Hmm.
makes sense. Like if you see conflict happening in a different country, then you obviously want to invade at that time when things are like in chaos. And then also the fact that he doesn't want to reclaim the throne by
Hmm.
hurting other people, which is totally a Hufflepuff thing. But the queen is basically pissed at the fact that the general has not deployed his men. But then the general, oh my god, sorry. The
Okay,
general
so
lets us,
I was
oh,
screaming
me
at
too.
this. Oh, it was so bad.
So the
Oh,
general,
so
like,
bad.
lets us slip that the crown prince is alive. And I'm just like, bro, what about secrets? What about secrets? Like,
I paused it and yelled at my freaking computer, that is not your secret to tell.
yeah, me too. I was so pissed. I was like, no, like, you don't know what the queen, and it just frustrated me. But the queen, I don't know, the queen looks shocked, which confuses me because I'm like, I thought you kind of knew that the crown prince was alive, or maybe she just was like, this guy kind of looks like the prince, but he's not the crown prince kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then like, I'm so mad that he definitely like told that that was the crown prince. Like that's the one thing that really pissed me off because I was like, why? Like, oh, it pissed me off. But so I we also found out that the deputy of war, the guy who's always like meeting with her, one of the I think are they deputies or are they chiefs? I'm not really quite sure what to call
I
them.
think they're chiefs.
Okay, so
I
one of the
think the red are chiefs,
okay,
maybe.
okay, so the chief of war, I'm pretty sure he's of war, is actually the queen's brother, which is something we didn't know about
Yeah, that was
until
new information.
which was I mean now I can understand why she has like all like why they're like oh she has like armies on her side it's because it's her family
Mm.
um but she basically comes up with a plan because she's like listen now we have a plan we have to have a plan because or else our whole family would be screwed and I'm just like why like shouldn't you be happy that the crown prince is back but boy we find out more later
Oh,
about
I
this
know,
stupid
right?
queen
Oh my
um
God.
yeah, and also, oh my God, so I didn't you think that whole scene where he Guyon brought him tea and he's like, just stay here and let me finish it with you and like stay until I finish drinking the tea. I thought it was such an adorable scene and really cute that he just wants her to stay. He's like a puppy. And then do you want to talk about what happens after the tea?
So, Gan and her medicinal background and everything, um, I don't know what prompted her to like check the tea after, but she like smells like she smelled the cup and she kind of gets like you can tell from her face something smells weird about it. And when she goes running back, she finds out realizes that it's poison that Prince's son has been poisoned essentially. But before she can get to him, after he's already passed out from the poison, these army guards have already taken him and are like kidnapping him and taking him away. And they're actually going
Yeah.
to throw him into the river to drown him.
By the way, before you get into further into this, did for some reason the flowers in the cup, I wrote down a note. I go, I have a feeling, like, obviously at the time I had a feeling that the queen has something to do with it because, like, queen was like, we have to do a plan. And, of course, Gaihan's on her side. But
Mhm.
another thing is, do you think the flowers that he drank were from Daymunk or was from the poison poppies? Because those flowers, or maybe just all tea looks the same and they're just like all poison looks the same or something like that. Because,
I'm going to say yes because we know too much information.
yeah, right now we do. So,
Mhm.
yeah, totally. But finish what you're saying.
So yeah, so he ends up getting shoved into like a body of water. I thought it was a river, but it might have been an ocean too. Um, and Gon has followed them, and she ultimately ends up, well, attempting to save him, but then she ends up passing out in the water too, trying to
Yeah,
save him.
I thought that scene was so stupid. So I'm like, okay, like it's like she's swimming. Oh no, I'm gonna pass out. Close my eyes. Like it was just like when you're gonna drown, you literally your body literally fights against it. And I know that's
Right,
really hard to act out, but then again, you're not that far from the bottom, and or from the top. And also, if you couldn't keep your breath, go back up, take a deep breath, go back down. Like
right.
like
Let
that's
him go, let him float where he is, and then go after him. Or push him up, because you can
yeah.
push people up through the water. Like, I don't know the laws of physics, but I know people are lighter in water usually, so you can usually push them pretty easily.
Yeah, exactly. But she's stupid and she passed out. And of course, they woke up on the shores, and I'm like, okay, because like in reality, they should have both kind of drowned instead of ending up on the shore because there's no like waves or anything. But it's K drama logic, so it makes
Yeah,
sense. But Prince Sun is basically mad that she jumped in, but Guyan basically tells him like, I don't want to lose you, like you're precious to me, and I'm like, well then why don't you just tell him your plans and stop acting like a cold witch, like
hmm.
seriously. Um, but then, oh my God, do you want to talk about what happened next?
Okay, so
Sam's
this
already
is why
fangirling.
this whole episode was just an entirely emotional roller coaster. So we finally get our kiss. Finally.
And boy, that first kiss, I was like, okay, that's such a cute kiss. And then the second kiss, I was like, I
Well,
was like,
the
oh my
music,
god.
like they have the kiss and then the music stops. Like the whole cinematography and everything they did around it built it up really nicely. But like the music was like silent. There was no sound whatsoever, which was really
Yeah.
weird. And then when he like pulls her in and everything, and then
Oh
the
my god, I
music starts
died.
up again,
I
and you see
died.
the moonlight and the oh, it's
And by the
like
way, I just want to say this is probably one of the best kisses we've had in all the dramas. I can't remember Goblin kisses. I don't think like I
Goblin
think
was awkward for a very long time because we had an issue with the age.
yeah. And then Radiant Office, what kiss? And Missy Nine, really, really, what
What
kiss?
kiss?
So the best kiss so far goes to this drama because they had good chemistry. And I know what we've been saying like all the time, like we don't like them together, but that kiss was on point.
That
Let me just
kiss like satisfied me. I was like, okay,
exactly.
like I am okay with this couple. All right, let's see where we go from here.
Yeah, and then also Guyan finally actually apologizes for being cold, and it's like thank you for actually like telling him you're sorry for being mean and rude to him for no reason really. And then she also and then she's also gonna tell um him more or what but she was going to tell him more, but he interrupted her when I feel like she was going to tell him like what her plans were, but he
Mhm.
interrupted her, and I'm like, dude, what's up with interrupting people? Like, why can't you just let people speak and be like, hey, I have plans to do this and this, instead of just be like, look at these butterflies? Like, no. um but I get frustrated because I'm like, why can't these characters have an honest conversation and work out alliances? But it's a Korean drama and it's K drama, no rules, whatever. But Kyan and Princess is caught
Yeah.
and brought to Peasant Son. Do you want to talk about that, Sam?
So yeah, they were. I mean, as Morgan said, they were caught and brought out to peasant son, who's playing the part of the king, and so. And as far as everybody else is aware, Prince Sun is a peasant, or not really a peasant, but like he's not the king. And a part of the laws of this land is that the women of the king, the court ladies, the court hands or whatever, um, belong to the king. So if you touch one of them, you've touched the king's property, which is super illegal and punishable by death. And so he's kind of peasant son's kind of between a rock and a hard place of what do I do because these are the rules I'm supposed to abide by, but I know way too much. And Gon kind of doesn't know what's going on, minus the fact that like she got in trouble. But Prince Son
Yeah.
and Peasant Son know exactly what's going on.
Mm,
So it was a really tense scene overall, and I was like, how are they freaking going to get out of this?
exactly. And then I like the fact that Prince Son, or not Prince Son, Peasant Son was like, Prince Son's my man. Like, I sent him out to look for Guyon, and let's just forget about this. But also, it got me really annoyed how he took off his robe and gave it to Guyon. Because, not like, okay, yes, you want to take care of her, whatever. But then again, you have so many eyes on you, and you know you do. So, why are you showing that you care about this girl when obviously, if Daemonk finds out you care about this girl, he's going to go after her? There's a whole reason why you did not go see your
But Daemon already
family.
knows though,
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah,
because
that's
the
true.
queen was giving him a gift and he gave him a gift earlier. That was the whole conversation with him
Yeah.
and his family. So he already knows about God.
That makes sense, I guess, now that I think about it. But at the time, I was like, why are you doing that? Everyone's gonna know. But I also feel like um, that whole thing, like that whole scene of them, like him giving the robe to Guyon and him like being like, take care of her, and then him turning to Prince Sun and being like, hey, I'm gonna reward you with, I don't remember what he gave
It
her,
was
like
like gold
gold or
or
something like
something
that.
like that.
I felt like that kind of reward was like a power trip for Peasant Son of being like, this is where I am right now, and like I can have, I don't know actually. I just felt like a power trip. Like he was, or maybe it felt like it was like um him playing with his toys. Like, not saying guy has a toy or anything, but being like, that kid who always had like a toy or best toy. He's always like, look at my toy, look at my toy. It's so shiny, better than yours. Did you get that
Right.
feeling from him? I don't know if I'm overreading it or
Um,
something.
no, I don't think you're overreading it. I don't feel like it's like a little kid with their toy, but I definitely think that peasant's son's trying to show that right now he's in the power position,
Mm.
even though he later on ends up talking to Prince Sun about the positions that they're in. But he's kind of like got in his mind, like, you need to back off kind of
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. And then also on top of that, Prince Sun finally realizes that peasant son likes Guyon, and I'm just like, okay, I get the
You
reason
just
why.
figured this one
I
out.
know, but I was like, I get the reason why you want a love triangle. Like, you need a love triangle. I get that. I mean, you've told me 1,000 times, like, what? Like, this love has been, like, Peasant Son and his love have been, or Peasant Son and Guyon love has been since children. And I'm just like, I get that. But then I just don't want a love triangle. I just don't want it. Can I just throw it away? Like, I don't want it.
I don't want this anymore.
Well, it looks like we're gonna get it, and we have no choice on it.
Yes, I know.
Well, kind of. I mean, the kiss already happened, so we already know, like, in K-drama world, like, they're already connected, so...
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But Peasant Son tells his bodyguard that Prince Sun is his only friend, or is his friend, but he also wants Guyon in a way. So even though she is his woman right now, and she does belong to the king, but in reality, she really does belong to the, Prince Sun. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, dude, dude. I mean, I guess I get where Peasant Son's getting for, because like this is a girl he's loved forever, and then really Prince Sun is a guy that he met after a day, and it was like, you're my best friend. I get where they're coming from, but for me, I'm just like, bros before hoes, dude. Like, no, friendship means more than just going after a girl and ruining a relationship.
Mhm.
So, do you want to talk about the end of the episode, Sam?
Yeah, so at the end of the episode, the wasn't the brother was the Minister of War, I think. Is that our brother? No.
Yeah, the Minister of War is her brother.
Well, he ends up coming in. Essentially, the news of the death having happened is like of Prince Sun, because the queen knows that Prince Sun was alive, and now Prince Sun is dead. Or as far as everybody, as far as the noticing that has been
Yeah.
going around, Prince Sun is dead. The crown prince is gone. There's a fake on the throne, and this is news to the Minister of War, um, because originally the prince had said that no fighting, we're not going to fight.
Oh
It was
no,
on his
that's
order.
that's the guy. Minister of War is her brother who came in to give the news.
Yeah,
But
well, that's why I was asking if the
the
Minister of War was her brother, because
yeah,
the someone else came in and said, yeah, no, it was the general.
the general was there. Yeah,
Yeah, and so the general finds out that the prince is dead, or at least as far as he's aware, the prince is dead. And the queen basically gives him the order to pull all of his men off the border, and they're going to fight the Piansuhui,
yep.
going against the order of the prince.
And also, I just like the general. The general, I was like, he goes all Hulk. He's a Hulk, and he's like, I'm gonna destroy Pengsu. I'm gonna like kill Daemok. I'm gonna behead Peasant Son. And I'm just like, calm down, dude. Like, calm down. You need like a
Right?
lavender bath or something. Like, calm down. But that was the end of episode 21. So episode 22, the I don't really remember his name. I think his Roku. I don't remember his name, but I know he's the general's friend and stuff like that. I don't remember
The
his
one who
name.
was reading the paper when the episode opened.
No, the one who delivered the paper.
Oh, okay.
I forgot his name though. But he basically comes and he tells Boo Boo and Moonha that the prince's son was murdered, and they
I
all start.
Can I just say I saw this scene coming from a mile away.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know that he's alive. I think this scene would have worked better though if we didn't know the outcome of his, being thrown in.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think for like comic relief, it was a good scene because they're all crying over him dying and everything, and he's sitting there in between all of them reading this thing as they're all like, "The
yeah,
prince is
yeah, and
dead."
I love how he was like, "Oh my God, they're sending people off the borders. We gotta stop this." And they're like, "Oh my God, the prince!" And he's like, "No, really, dude, we gotta stop this." And they're like, "Oh shit, you're alive. Oops." I thought, yeah, you're right. It was like emotionally, like it wasn't good. Like it wouldn't be like a melodramatic like kind of scene, but comedy wise, it was perfect, and I loved it. They also do have a problem though with the general since he's very headstrong, And even if the crown prince was alive and basically said, don't attack, he would still attack because he's very headstrong. So
Mhm.
Prince Sun goes to Hagun and he asks her for help and basically tells her, you know, um, the general is going to come and he's going to send all his men to wipe out Pusuan or Pusi. And of course, Hagun is shocked and she's like, that's her family. And
Mhm.
although he doesn't realize it yet, that's her family. And she's like, oh shit. So he basically asks her for help. And I'm just like, at this time of this episode, I was thinking like, this is gonna be really awkward when he actually realizes who she is, because not only has he told her multiple times, I want to kill Busui, I want to knock them out, he also goes to help, like goes to her for like help over them.
Mhm.
So I'm like,
So can
this,
we talk about a very small, well, it's not a small detail, but I don't know if you noticed this. There's been a costume change.
what costume
Have you
change?
noticed the costume change?
No.
He's no longer wearing blue. He's wearing black.
Who?
So to me, the Prince Sun, he's changed
I didn't
his
realize
clothes,
this.
which doesn't seem like a huge significant thing, but I think it's very interesting that he was wearing blue almost the entire time. Um, and blue is the prince's color. And he's been thrown in, almost dead, all of this. And now he's kind of like on a revenge kind of streak. And now he's wearing all black.
I think he just wants to be a ninja, Sam. That's all.
I
That's
but
what
I
he wants
thought
to
it
be.
was really interesting just from like a cinematography kind of point of
Yeah, yeah.
that he, I believe in the very beginning was wearing like reds and browns and everything, and then when he became kind of more royal, I guess, in getting with the head merchants and everything, his clothing changed to blue. Now he's coming to becoming kind of an attacker. He has to go after the Piansuhui, whether he likes it or not, and has to start like really conniving and everything. And now he's wearing black, and she's wearing black too. So I think it's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't pick it up at all. And it's pretty like symbolic
Symbolic.
too, which is perfect for the drama. It's perfect like add on to it where you if you like you noticed it, but I didn't notice it because sometimes I'm just too focused on the words than those clothes unless they're really out there. So that's really interesting. I didn't pick that up at all. But back to the drama. Hagoon. Okay, so Hagoon thinks that so Crown Prince told Hagoon that Pusui basically threatened his life, basically like was trying to kill him.
Hmm.
So Hagoon gets pissed over this because she's like, dude, like I told you not to mess with my man. And so she goes to her grandfather and basically is like, why did you try to kill the chief peddler? And her grandfather's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, he's like the chief of peddlers probably have other like enemies. It's definitely not me. Which is kind of funny because throughout the rest of the episode, he like I'm just gonna say Pisui gets blamed for a lot of shit that they don't do, which is kind of funny.
I know.
But how like so um I kind of wish that Hagoon could tell tell the crown prince that it wasn't Pisui that tried to kill him, so the
Hmm.
crown prince could realize that his mom suddenly turned into a psychopath. But unfortunately, of course, that wouldn't happen because it'd be like she would have to be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm part of Pisui," and it would not turn out good whatsoever.
Yeah.
But Pusui has a meeting, and Hagun basically tells him that the general's plans. And Daemonk seems suspicious at first of why she knows all of this, but she just tells him that she heard some rumors. So, and he doesn't like look all that convinced, but she does come up with a plan to stop this from happening, and she tells him that they're gonna stop trading with the Jardins, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, and they were actually the people that lived on the borders of Korea, or yeah, border of Korea, more in China, I think in China,
Hmm.
and they're gonna stop trading with them because if they stop trading with them, then they're gonna get really aggravated and they're gonna basically cause more fights, and the general wouldn't be able to leave the border because the peace treaty would be gone. So that will basically save them from the general not coming to kill them.
Hmm. I
And
think it's kind of interesting that in order to have Prince Sun get the help that he needs, he has to get it from the exact people he's trying to destroy.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's very interesting.
Yeah, and but he doesn't even realize it either, which is kind of funny.
Right.
Um, and then so peasant son and prince son meet up together again, and they see and peasant they're talking. And it's really cool because when they're talking, they write down what they're saying and then they burn the letters, which is wicked smart because you never know who can be listening to them.
Hmm.
And he peasant son or prince son basically asks to see Guyon, and he tells peasant son like she doesn't know who I am, but I want to see her. And you can tell this bothers peasant son because he calls her in after like 2.5 seconds after reading what he said, and he basically tells her basically like calls her, I forgot what happened, but he calls her in and he tells her something. And this is one of the other parts where I felt like he was using her as a toy, kind of like, look who I have, you don't have her, I do.
Right.
I can't remember what he told her, but I felt like, oh no, he asked her if she's okay, how she's doing, and basically sends her away, and doesn't even let peasant son or prince son talk to her, which is kind of like a douche move, I want to
Hmm.
say, but. Finally, in the green room, peasant son or prince son asks his peasant son if he likes Guyon, and peasant son says, "You know what? Guyon hates him because of the mask he's wearing, and because she thinks that he's, basically prince son."
Hmm.
And that she believes that he is now her enemy, but in reality it is him. And peasant son asks him how much longer does he have to fool Guyon, and he tells him that the throne is yours, the crown is yours, but Guyon is not yours. And like,
Except that Guyon, if they, because he said he'd give the throne back at any point. Like as soon as he wants, it's kind of interesting that he's like, I have all this power. Look what I can do. Blah 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 blah. But I don't think he realizes that at the end that if he gives Prince Sun back the throne, he also hands him Guyon. I don't think he
yes,
thought that one through.
yeah, I don't think so either. Um, but then again, feel like for him, he's like, this is kind of like ahead, beyond him kind of thing, where he's like, he has no right to the throne in reality, although he was sworn in and everything. The crown prince is the blood crown prince, so it's
Hmm.
not like he can hold on to it. So he knows that he accepts that. So I can understand, but then again, you're right. He's not thinking through. He's not using his noggin to realize that no matter what, Guyon's gonna go to the crown prince. Although I'm pretty sure once Guyon finds out the truth, there's gonna be some huge misunderstanding, and she's gonna think that he killed her father or whatever. And
Right.
but we all know K dramas, they'll come back together.
Hmm.
But Hagun basically tells her grandfather that she has a plan to bring down the queen, to teach the queen a lesson, which is very interesting because Daemon basically tells Hagun that he thinks the queen would try to kill the chief peddler, and Hagun is like, not my man, nope, even if you are his mom or, adopted mom. So um, Day Monk basically goes to the queen because it's the queen's birthday, and he brings three platters, each containing something. The first one,
Okay.
it
Did you think there was going to be a head underneath one of those?
no, because I'm not morbid, but
Because
it.
I was expecting her brother's head under one of those. I am not kidding.
I did not expect it all. I mean, no, because I was like, oh, he's bringing her food. I thought he was gonna bring her a puppy pill. That's what I thought he was bringing her. To be honest with you,
No,
or
I thought he
poison.
was gonna bring like her brother's head and be like, "Look at the power that I have. The piece of the borders is gone." Blah 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 blah.
No, because you're morbid. I didn't expect that.
I am not
That
morbid.
is morbid. You expected a head. I just expected like a pill. But he basically brings her this, and he brings her three things. And the first one tells her that the enemy at the borders had caused trouble, so the general won't be coming back. And he also kind of says like, "Hey, I was gonna kill the general, but I realized it's better to have someone who's very good at protecting our borders at the borders, so I'll let him live." Which I'm kind of like, way to be cocky, dude. And then he also the second one is basically telling the queen to move aside. That's the next
Mm,
one. It's basically to tell the queen to stop ruling. Your time's up. Let the young people rule. aka get out of the throne. And
mm.
then the third one is tiger's blood. Oh my god, I like screamed at this part because of the fact that Dae-Muk basically tells her to remember the past, and I'm like, no, she did not do what I think she did. Oh my god, this queen is crazy. No, 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 no. That she poisoned
The
the
prince.
prince. What the fuck?
Right.
I
So
was
this
so
whole time that we've been thinking it's well actually the we've been thinking it's just simply the Pyeonsu Hui, but it wasn't just the Pyeonsu Hui. She's working with them too. At the
yeah.
same time that the king was working with them too. I'm like, where else? Like they
I
have their
like
hands in freaking everything.
And also, like, I wanted a good queen. Like, I watched so many, like, well, I don't watch a lot of historical dramas, but majority of the historical dramas I check out, there's always an evil queen. Always. And it's like
Right?
this one time where I'm like, yes, this queen is so nice. She likes the course, like the consort, or the, no, she's consort. She likes, she likes her. And then, like, she's a cool queen. She's nice to her son and stuff like that. And then it's just like, no, you're not nice. Why? Why would
Well, it
you
was
do
interesting,
this?
yeah, because we had said how weird it was that the queen was so nice to the consort, how willing she was to have the prince around and everything. And like we even picked up on how strange it was, but it was almost like a breath of fresh air at that point. Like, okay, I'm going to accept this dynamic because it's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
And
nice.
now it's like, no, she's been horrid this whole time.
Right, exactly. So that really, I was like really shocked that she has some play in it too. But so also Mi Chang goes to meet with her father, and she basically tells him like, the principal's died because of Pun Sui, and her father basically says, no, it wasn't because of them, it was because of the queen. And she only tried to kill her son because she could use the general army that way. And she's shocked that that's what the queen would do. The queen would sacrifice her own blood to get rid of this evil, to have more power.
Mm.
And so her father said that, the queen has crossed the line, and that they're going to prepare a birthday gift for them, or for her, for the queen, and that the crown prince will also have to see this birthday gift. Which I'm like, is this a target? Like, is this going to be a head? I don't even know. Um, but yeah, and then the queen, of course, the queen, she's the crown prince, and she is shocked. Like, she
Oh
is
my
so
God.
shocked. She, like, I thought she was gonna die at that minute. Like, I thought she was literally gonna pass out. And of course, like, peasant son, like, oh, like, was like, allow him to come to your birthday party because, you seem to like him a lot. And the queen and her brother looked like they're sweating bullets.
Oh,
Um,
I know. And that whole conversation they had was completely awkward.
Yes, and I completely agree. And also, I hated how the how Peasant's son basically told Guyan to stay by his side, and I'm like, dude, stop being overly jealous. Just like stop it. Like, I did not appreciate that scene when Peasant son was like, just stay by my side, and then Prince son and Peasant son and Guyan are all looking at each other, and I'm just like, oh no, 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 no. Um, so do you want to talk about Mi Chang and her father's plan that basically came to like that happened?
Okay, so what ended up happening was the queen's gift was like a puppet show. But it was like hand puppets, like what you make on like the wall, like, yay, look, I can make a birdie kind of deal, because that's the only thing I can do. Don't know where these hand contortionist people came from, but I will say the puppet show was pretty cool, even though it was messed up.
Yeah, really
So
cool.
it's presented as a story from China, and it shows the story of the prince being born from the consort because the queen couldn't give a child. And as the story slowly unfolds, you realize the prince son is told that it is not a fable, it's actually a true story. Someone knows what happened, and it shows the queen attempting to poison Prince Sun when he was a baby with the blood that was supposed to be have his name written on him. So we find out that it was the queen who attempted to kill him, not originally the Pyeonsu Hui. She might have done it with their help, but it
Yeah.
was her idea. She's the one who made them switch.
my thing, like, I got so pissed off that scene because I'm like, she could have prevented so much. She could have prevented Peng Sui from getting so big. She could have prevented her husband getting murdered. She could have prevented so many things. And my question is, like, what did she gain in return for killing a son? Or for killing him? Was it because of the fact that she was jealous over his birth? Which seems like a stupid idea considering the fact that you can't give birth to a son.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it something more than that? I don't know. I think, like, I just got really frustrated with that because I'm like, you could have, like, stopped so many things. You could have prevented this problem from getting bigger because obviously you're going to kill your son again or your adopted son again to get rid of them again. To get rid of them when you could have done that before.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, of course, in the end, the queen freaks out. She realizes, like, she's seen the story that is basically the truth. And she gets up and she basically runs in one spot. Like, she's going to run away, but she just runs in one spot, which is pretty weird. And they turn off the lights, and the queen basically stares at the real prince, finally knowing that he knows the truth. And that's
Right.
where we end on episode 22?
Yup.
22, yep. Final thoughts, Sam?
Oh my God. These 2 episodes put me on a really weird emotional roller coaster. Because I was like happy because I thought my theory was right, and then I was sad because it was wrong, and then I was happy because we got the kiss, and then I was sad because Peasant's son was being a total jerky McJerkhead, and then like I was happy that the prince was alive, but then to find out that the queen was behind everything, I'm like, I don't know where to look at what's going on, and oh my God, like everything's
Yeah.
going crazy.
I know, I completely agree. I felt so frustrated because there's so many, it's so complicated, but yeah, again, I feel like with these characters, like, I can't really connect with any of them, I guess, and the writing is nice, but for me, I just feel like it's getting way too complicated. There's like
Yeah.
3 different sides. Now we realize that the queen is messed up with Pusui, and then the whole Mi Chang and her father, and then like it's frustrating because there's so many like different sides to this story, and
Mhm.
I feel like it's hard to get a complete story from the time we have, and I feel like they shouldn't have made it so like with so many different sides. If this was this is a 20-episode drama, so it is quite longer than a 16-episode drama, but I do feel like it's a little bit too complex.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, like they're trying to start way too many storylines.
Yeah, me too.
And they're not working toward the finishing of them. Not that being said, like I did like a lot of pieces of like these 2 episodes. I'm not saying they're bad episodes in and of themselves. I'm just saying that the writers have too many things going on at once.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, I just don't like that love triangle. I know, Sam, it's supposed to happen, but I just don't like it. I'd rather watch a drama that doesn't. Although I know it's a K-pop thing, or not K-pop, K-drama thing to have love triangles, but I just didn't want it in this drama per se, just because of the fact that like I'd rather have a romance than friendship than actual like a love triangle.
Mm.
But that's my final thoughts. Anything else you want to add, Sam?
Oh my gosh, this drama's crazy.
Yes, that's it. And
That's about it.
the queen's crazy now too. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this discussion / recap / me and Sam just being awkward and weird. And if you guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. And we will see you. Oh, sorry, I'm like brain farting really bad.
We'll see
Moment.
you next time.
Yes, we will see you next time. I'm sorry, I'm being weird. Okay, bye. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please feel free to give it a like. If you would like, you can subscribe to our channel. And if you want to check out our last week's discussion video, click somewhere on the screen because it'll be somewhere up here. And we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye. Not really bye, but bye.